This is the million-dollar question that many people have been asking, and finally, it looks like we can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Electric vehicle companies are still finding their footing when it comes to competition to gas or diesel-fueled vehicles, and this is because of the huge prices attached to new EVs. However, reports have noted that soon electric vehicles will become cheaper than gas vehicles. The truth is, some car owners are well aware that electric cars are likely to be the future, but they are holding off till they become cheaper than petrol. So, when will electric cars become affordable? According to a recent study carried out by Bloomberg New Energy Finance, they have predicted that electric cars and vans will be cheaper to produce than combustion vehicles by 2027. This positive change will occur when EV companies improve their designs, reduce battery costs, and create more dedicated production lines. With these changes, the EV industry is expected to lower the prices of their vehicles. Bloomberg NEF has forecasted that by 2026, larger vehicles such as electric sedans and SUVs will be as cheap to produce as petrol and diesel models, and by the following year, smaller cars will reach the same threshold. Also, when EVs reach price equality with petrol and diesel vehicles, it will be a huge victory in the world's mission to reduce harmful emissions. With the falling cost of producing batteries for EVs combined with dedicated production lines in car plants, this change will make them cheaper to buy. According to Bloomberg NEF research, the current average pre-tax retail price of a medium-sized electric car is €33,300, compared to a petrol car at €18,600. But in 2026, the two cars are predicted to cost around €19,000. They added that by 2030, the same electric car will cost €16,300 before tax, while the petrol car would cost €19,900. As the price of petrol and diesel cars increases with inflation, it is believed that the advances in technology will help to lower the price of EVs. This will then create a gap between the two cars and eventually will lead to price equality. Fortunately, forecasters agree that the cost of new batteries will continue to fall as the years go by. A study carried out by a Brussels nonprofit organization that campaigns for cleaner transport in Europe predict that new battery prices will fall by 58% between 2020 and 2030 to $58 per kilowatt hour. And a reduction in battery costs to below $100 per kilowatt hour is considered a huge step toward the grand entrance of fully electric vehicles. As an advantage, it would largely remove the financial appeal of hybrid electric vehicles that combine a battery with a conventional one. Electric vehicles experienced record sales in 2020, especially in China and the EU. However, environmental campaigners are calling on governments to introduce tougher emissions regulations to encourage more customers to make the switch. And in response to that, the UK government plans to ban the sale of new fossil fuel vehicles from 2030. Meanwhile, European companies have asked the EU to set 2035 as the end date for selling new combustion engine vehicles. In time past, the high cost of batteries, which accounted for a quarter and 2/5 of the cost of an electric car, made many of the world's biggest car makers reluctant to switch to electric cars. However, the reduced cost of batteries is seen as critical to making electric cars more attractive to consumers, especially when it's combined with increased range. Also, it has been noted that if governments continue to offer incentives on EVs, it would make them more financially beneficial to the consumers. For instance, consumers can offset some of the premium prices for EVs through tax credits. In America, the federal government offers a non-refundable tax credit worth $2,500 to $7,500 for newly purchased electric vehicles made after 2010. However, the credit only applies to the first 200,000 vehicles that a manufacturer sells. Tesla and General Motors have already exceeded this number, so tax credit is no longer available from these manufacturers. So your state or country may offer its own tax credit or rebate. While EVs are usually more expensive when purchasing, owners can save a lot on operating expenses. A 2020 Consumer Reports study discovered that on average, EV owners spend 60% less on fuel compared to internal combustion engine vehicles. Their calculation includes the average use of commercial charging stations, which can be 2 or 3 times more expensive than charging your car at home. But it is estimated that the total cost per session to fully charge your car's battery is about $10 to $45. If you charge at home, the domestic electricity rates differ by state, and this is based on several factors like regulation and how electricity is generated. However, the average monthly cost is about $25 per month. Also, since EVs have fewer parts than petrol and diesel cars, they manage to have a lower maintenance cost. So in the long run, which is cheaper? A U.S. Department of Energy report shows that after 15 years, electric cars cost generally less than similar gas-only cars. This happens when you factor in the price, maintenance, financing, repairs, federal tax breaks, and fuel costs. According to Car and Driver, the average lifespan of a car is 200,000 miles. The cost of a gas-fueled car can be estimated to be $94,540, while a similar EV would cost $90,160. Although in the long run, EVs are generally cheaper than their counterparts, newer EVs with a better range above 300 miles can end up costing more. And this is because they are newer, cutting-edge EVs that are sold at luxury car prices. Again, one big disadvantage against EVs is that charging the car's battery is not convenient if you don't have access to commercial charging stations, or at least a level 2 charger at home. And even with the faster level 3 chargers at commercial stations, it can still take up to 30 minutes to fully charge. This is one competitive disadvantage that EVs have. They're inflexible when it comes to refueling provisions, compared to gas cars that take a few minutes to fill up and you're back on the road. Some car experts have advised that since the average range of EVs is under 200 miles, you might want to consider a hybrid electric vehicle if you drive long-distance trips frequently. Due to the impending changes that are coming to the EV industry, gas-fueled car companies and car sellers should be preparing to make the transition, because the reduced cost of electric cars and vans is gradually making them seem like the better option. So, when will electric cars become more affordable? When the battery cost is reduced, when designs are improved, when there are more dedicated production lines, and when there are more improved commercial charging stations. If all these predictions and forecasting come to fruition, electric cars will become reliably cheaper by the end of the decade. The question now is, when will you be making the transition to EVs? Are you waiting for the EV prices to drop, or are you ready to say goodbye to petrol cars? Let us know in the comments section. Be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. You can also turn on the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Thank you very much for watching. Catch you guys in the next video.